welcome to the Egyptian Gods and Goddesses YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about how gods and goddesses were worshipped. First of all, they were worshipped in temples. The temples were made out of stone and sometimes mud brick if stone wasn't available. The temples were built upon lots of land so that the Egyptians could grow crops and other things to be given to the gods. All Egyptians gave to the gods if they worshipped the gods. They gave daily, monthly, annually. It was different for each Egyptian. The temples were where the gods were thought to be at certain times. They sometimes were thought that they lived in the temples, in statues. They also built obelisks, courtyards, statues, storerooms, and household shrines in the temples, so that people could go different places to take care of the gods and worship them. The obelisks were a structure that was outside the temples. The courtyards were where people could worship the gods. The statues were where the gods were thought to live. The storerooms was where objects, crops, and other things were stored before they were given to the gods. Household shrines were not in the temples. They were in people's homes. People made household shrines so that they could worship the gods at their home before going to a temple. They sometimes put statues of God or paintings of gods in their household shrines. Many people gave offerings to the gods to show their love for the gods. The more you gave, it was thought that you loved the gods more, but not necessarily always. Only in some temples that was true. The high priest looked over all actions of the church. He looked over the statues, the courtyards, and the people worshiping the gods, and even the gods themselves. But the high priest wasn't the only one who looked over the temples. The pharaohs also looked over the temples and sometimes came to visit. The pharaohs also built the temples in Egypt. The priests who took care of the statues had to bathe before touching or performing anything to the gods' statues. They had to do this because the god statues were thought to be very holy, and you had to be very careful with them when you were a priest. But one interesting fact about the temples is not everyone came to worship in the temples like in some churches that are around today. Instead, people came on their own time, about a family or maybe less, to come and worship the gods. Sometimes they had set up in the church their own way to worship the gods. For instance, they might have a painting of God with their family name where they would sit and worship, or sometimes stand and worship, or there would be a big place where they go to worship. Thank you so much for watching this, and look forward to more YouTube channels videos about the Egyptian gods and goddesses. Bye!